Did you know some state quarters are worth way more than 25 cents? From rare minting errors to low mintage designs, these coins can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Check your change. Your next quarter could be a collector's jackpot. The 2006 United States North Dakota state quarter dollar is one of those coins that manages to blend history, culture, artistry, and numismatic intrigue all into a single small piece of metal that most people would spend without a second thought. But for collectors, this quarter tells a story much deeper than its face value of 25 cents. It carries the heritage of the state it honors, the design choices that bring that story to life, and, in some cases, minting errors and rare conditions that transform it from pocket change into a collector's treasure worth far more than its face value. The North Dakota quarter was released in 2006 as part of the U.S. Mint's wildly popular 50-state quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. This program was created to honor each state in the order they joined the Union, with a new design released every 10 weeks. For North Dakota, admitted to the Union in 1889, its turn came as one of the later issues in 2006. The program was not only educational but also incredibly successful in attracting millions of new people to coin collecting, many of whom started collecting quarters from change just to complete the series. The obverse of the coin, like all state quarters, carries the familiar portrait of George Washington. This version was designed by John Flanagan and later slightly modified by William Cousins for the state quarters series. Around Washington's profile, you see the inscriptions United States of America, Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and quarter dollar. A mint mark is present below in God We Trust, showing whether the coin was minted in Philadelphia, P, Denver, D, or San Francisco, S. The reverse design of the North Dakota quarter is what truly makes it stand out. Created by designer Andy Bernstein, it features a pair of American bison grazing on the Great Plains with rugged buttes rising in the background. Above the image are the inscriptions North Dakota, 1889, the year of statehood, and the year of minting, 2006. The motto E pluribus unum is inscribed along the bottom. This design perfectly captures the state's identity, linking its natural landscapes with the iconic bison that once roamed the plains in massive herds. In terms of mintage, the 2006 North Dakota quarter was produced in huge numbers for circulation, as were all state quarters. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 305 million coins, while Denver produced over 359 million. In addition, the San Francisco Mint made both clad and silver-proof versions for collectors, with mintages in the millions. With numbers like these, it's clear that most 2006 North Dakota quarters are extremely common in circulated condition and worth only their face value of 25 cents. However, collectors know that the story doesn't end there. Condition and rarity play a huge role in determining a coin's value, and the North Dakota quarter has seen some fascinating examples rise to prominence. High-grade mint state coins, those graded MS-67 or higher, can be surprisingly valuable because so few survive in flawless condition despite the massive mintage. For example, while an ordinary circulated coin is worth a quarter, a North Dakota quarter in pristine condition with blazing luster and no contact marks can sell for $50 to $200. The very finest known pieces, graded MS-68, have brought even more at auction. Proof coins are another area where collectors focus their attention. The San Francisco Mint struck both clad and silver-proof versions, specially made for collectors and sold in sets. These proofs, with their mirror-like fields and frosted designs, are beautiful examples of modern minting technology. Clad proofs are generally worth just a few dollars, while silver proofs, which contain 90% silver, can fetch $10 to $20 depending on condition and silver prices. But when it comes to deep cameo proofs graded PR69 or PR70, collectors will pay much more, with some examples selling for hundreds of dollars at auction. Then there are the error coins, the real wild cards that excite collectors and investors alike. Minting errors turn an ordinary quarter into something unique, and North Dakota quarters have had their share. Off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned, can bring $50 to $150 or more depending on how dramatic the error is. Double-struck coins, where the coin is struck twice and the images overlap, are even more desirable and can reach into the hundreds. One particularly interesting error found on some 2006 state quarters, including the North Dakota issue, is die clashes. This happens when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, leaving faint outlines of the opposite design impressed where they don't belong. Collectors love these anomalies, and values can range from $30 to several $100s depending on visibility and grade. Other dramatic errors, like a North Dakota quarter struck on the wrong planchet, for example a nickel blank, could sell for thousands at auction, since they are so rare and unusual. Auction records provide some of the most exciting stories. While most North Dakota quarters are common, a few exceptional examples have shocked collectors with their prices. In one case, a 2006 North Dakota quarter graded MS-68 by a top grading service sold for over $1,000 because of its near-perfect preservation. Another example in proof condition, graded PR-70 Deep Cameo, realized several $100s at auction, proving that collectors will pay big premiums for perfection. These rare auction appearances are what fuel excitement in the hobby, reminding people that even a coin as modern as a state quarter can carry unexpected value when the right combination of condition and rarity comes together. What makes the North Dakota quarter so captivating is not just its value but also the story it tells. It reflects the history and natural beauty of the state, honors the wildlife that defines its landscape, and serves as a snapshot of America's bold experiment with the 50-state quarters program. That program didn't just put new designs into circulation. It inspired a generation of people to look at their change in a whole new way. Millions of families collected quarters together, filling maps and albums, learning history, and unknowingly creating new coin collectors for life. So imagine this. A coin minted by the hundreds of millions, spent countless times in vending machines, laundromats, and stores, suddenly becomes a treasure when it happens to be an error coin or survives in near-perfect condition. To one person, it's just 25 cents. To another, it's a beautiful collector piece worth hundreds or even thousands. That's the magic of coin collecting. The 2006 North Dakota State Quarter is more than just change. It's a reminder of America's landscapes, of the wildlife that shaped its history, and of the power of a simple program to spark excitement across the country. And for collectors, it's also a coin full of potential surprises, proofs, errors, and high-grade examples that turn a common piece of pocket change into something extraordinary. So the next time you come across a 2006 North Dakota quarter, take a moment before spending it. Look at the bison grazing on the plains, the buttes rising in the background, and ask yourself, could this be one of those rare gems? Could it be a pristine high-grade coin? Or maybe even an error worth far more than 25 cents. Because sometimes, the most ordinary-looking coin in your hand carries an extraordinary story waiting to be discovered. The 2013 United States Bombay Hook State $quarter coin is one of those remarkable pieces of modern American coinage that manages to turn a simple quarter into a miniature work of art, and for collectors, into an exciting opportunity. Most people who receive this coin in change probably never stop to admire it. But for those who study coins closely, the 2013 Bombay Hook quarter represents a fascinating story, especially when errors or rare conditions enter the picture. What seems like just 25 cents can become worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars when the right circumstances come together, and that possibility has captured the imagination of collectors everywhere. The quarter itself belongs to the America the Beautiful Quarters program, a series launched in 2010 to celebrate national parks and historic sites across the country. The Bombay Hook National Wildlife Refuge in Delaware was chosen to be honored in 2015, but many collectors often include the surrounding years when they talk about how this program changed coin collecting forever. By 2013, the program was well underway, and people had already seen the mint produce some of its most detailed and innovative designs ever struck on circulating coinage. The Bombay Hook quarter fits beautifully into that tradition, with a reverse that highlights natural beauty in a way that makes it stand out in anyone's hand. On the obverse of the coin, the portrait of George Washington remains consistent with what Americans have known for decades. Originally sculpted by John Flanagan in 1932, Washington's profile has appeared on the quarter ever since, though modified over the years. In 2013, the design showed the bold and familiar features of Washington facing left, surrounded by the word Liberty, the national motto "In God We Trust," and the date below. Just above the date, collectors also see the mint mark, either P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco. The reverse design of the Bombay Hook quarter is where the coin shines. It features a scene from the refuge in Delaware, showcasing a great blue heron and a snowy egret, two elegant wading birds, set against marshland waters and reeds. The design captures the quiet, natural beauty of one of the nation's most important habitats for migratory birds. The inscriptions Bombay Hook, Delaware, E pluribus unum, and the year complete the reverse design. The composition of the coin follows the modern standard. A copper core with outer layers of copper nickel, giving it the silver color everyone recognizes. The coin measures 24.26 millimeters in diameter, weighs 5.67 grams, and has a reeded edge. Special proof and silver versions were also struck at the San Francisco Mint, adding layers of desirability for collectors who want pristine examples. Now, while the regular circulation strike of this coin is worth only a quarter in everyday use, the real excitement comes from error coins, high-grade survivors, and unusual varieties. Error coins are the accidents of minting that slip through quality control but fascinate collectors. A 2013 Bombay Hook quarter with an off-center strike, where the design is shifted dramatically to one side, can easily bring several $100s at auction, depending on how much of the design is missing and whether the date remains visible. Another error-type collectors crave is the double strike. This happens when the coin is struck more than once by the dies, creating ghost-like images or overlapping details on the surface. A Bombay Hook quarter with a clear double strike could sell for hundreds or even more than $1,000, depending on the sharpness of the error and its condition. Die cracks and cuds are also possibilities. A cut occurs when a piece of the die breaks off, leaving a raised blob of metal on the finished coin. Bombay Hook quarters with dramatic cuds can range from $50 to several $100s, depending on size and placement. Die cracks, while often less dramatic, can still draw interest from specialists who love finding unique varieties in circulation. High-grade coins, especially those certified by professional grading companies, are another way the 2013 Bombay Hook quarter becomes valuable. Most coins circulating today show nicks, scratches, and wear from handling, but coins that were set aside early or preserved in rolls can sometimes achieve mint state 67 or 68 grades. At that level, they are considered condition rarities. Registry-set collectors who want the best of the best often compete fiercely at auction, pushing prices for top-graded coins into the hundreds of dollars. Proof coins, especially the silver proof struck in San Francisco, can reach even higher premiums when graded PR70 Deep Cameo. Auction results give us real-life examples of how much these coins can bring. A pristine silver-proof Bombay Hook quarter in perfect PR70 has sold for more than $500. A circulation strike graded MS68 by a leading grading service achieved over $300 in competitive bidding. Meanwhile, error coins like off-center strikes or double strikes have reached the $1,000 mark in rare cases, showing how a coin with a 25-cent face value can transform into a valuable prize. Collectors also find engagement in the story behind the design itself. The Bombay Hook National Wildlife Refuge, established in 1937, is a haven for thousands of acres of tidal salt marshes. The refuge provides a critical resting and feeding spot for migratory birds traveling the Atlantic flyway. By featuring the heron and egret, the quarter captures a moment of stillness and grace in nature, making it not only a collectible but also a celebration of American conservation efforts. What makes the 2013 Bombay Hook quarter even more intriguing is the chance to discover one in everyday change. Unlike some older coins that are nearly impossible to find in circulation, these modern quarters still pop up in pocket change, coin rolls, or jars tucked away in homes. That element of surprise, the possibility that one small oversight at the mint or one high-grade survivor might be waiting to be discovered, is what keeps collectors looking closely at every coin they encounter. The blend of artistry, history, and chance is what elevates the Bombay Hook quarter from pocket change to a collectible worthy of attention. Whether it's a flawless proof, a dramatic mint error, or a coin preserved in superb condition, the 2013 Bombay Hook State Quarter has captured its place in modern numismatic history. For collectors, it represents the joy of the hunt, the thrill of discovery, and the possibility that a simple quarter could one day bring hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction.